So, why are we intrigued by superheroes or individuals that appear to have superhuman abilities? I mean, we spend millions of dollars flocking to movie theaters and actually flocking to movie theaters and purchasing memorabilia, coffee mugs, t-shirts, and even action figures for our kids. But one thing that I'm here to do for you is to change your perception. And the perception of yourself and the perception of how you view others. So let's do a quick perception test. Everyone ready? All right. Look, it's a bird, it's a plane, it's Superman, right? But on May the 27th, 1995, Christopher Reeve suffered a traumatic accident. He was thrown from his horse during an equestrian competition, and he was forever left as quadriplegic. However, there was a fantastic quote that he had, and that he was an ordinary individual who had to find the strength in order to persevere and endure in the midst of his overwhelming obstacles. So from that day on, we all viewed Christopher Reeve as being an ordinary individual, and our perception of who he was forever changed. Now, what's your perception of backups? It's not that good, right? Or maybe it wasn't that good. But I'm here to give you a formula that your perception of backups, coupled with the right technology, will catapult you to being the hero of your environment. Now, a quick story about myself. My name is Demetrius Malbrough, and of course, I work for Rubrik, and I'm a technical marketing engineer. But before that, in the early 2000s, I was a backup consultant. So I traveled all around the United States implementing backup software and hardware. And one day, Larry the sales guy called me, and he said, Demetrius, I want to give you your next assignment. But instead, he goes on to tell me, this next customer, they knew you by name. So I was a little surprised that they actually knew me. And then, this last statement before he hung up the phone, he said, it's like you're becoming the Michael Jordan of backups. So I really appreciated that comment, and it got me to perceive myself as a backup administrator and a backup consultant a little differently. So on the plane ride home, I began to analyze my skills and my abilities. And what I did was I took all of the skills of a backup administrator and I categorized them into 3 buckets. The first bucket is the build bucket. Now this is, as a consultant, this is where you actually go in and you rack and you stack, assign IP addresses, you do all the planning and the configuration. You set up the backup schedules. You spend a lot of time here. But my days as a backup administrator, I spent a lot of time in the monitor category. So just monitoring all the backup jobs, the failures, everything that goes with managing a backup environment. There was a lot of pain here, right? And here's the secret. I did promise a secret. The secret is that every backup administrator at one point in their career will tell their spouse or significant other, you know what? I'm quitting tomorrow. Or I can't do this anymore. Or maybe I want to get out of the industry altogether. I know I did that, but I'm still here, right? So the last category is maintenance. This is where you spend all of your time. It's very time consuming. There's a lot of complexity here. So maintaining all of your storage, all of your backup servers, maybe even your tape libraries. It's very painful, very stressful. And I remember spending a lot of time in this category. So complexity is very real. And as a backup administrator, you see this every day. But what if I told you that all of the components that you see here, especially the ones that have a red X on them, I can get rid of those components for you in a simple scale-out cloud data management fabric. But is your current backup technology making you look like the villain in your backup environment or your IT organization? Could very well be true. So what if you have a database crash and you can't recover? For some strange reason, you may very well be viewed as Eric Killmonger, right? The enemy of Black Panther. What if you want to pull something from the cloud, but you got to pull the entire image back? You just need one file, but you have to pull back the entire thing. You could very well be viewed as Mandarin. You guys know who he is? From Iron Man, right? But most importantly, ransomware is running wild today, right? What if there's a ransomware attack in your environment, laying redundant for months, and all of a sudden, 10,000 or 100,000 files are encrypted? You're called upon as the backup administrator, and guess what? You can't recover. So you will definitely be the joke or the joker of your environment. So with the right technology that will allow you the scalability and automation that you need, you can be viewed too as Black Panther, right? Scale out architecture, giving you a global namespace and a distributed file system. One that is self-healing, in case there's a resilient node failure or multiple disk failures. It keeps on running. And something that's API driven with automation. Every click in the UI is an API call. Something or the right technology to give you hybrid cloud mobility with the ability to move data from on-premises to off-site or store that data in the cloud and able to move that data from location to location. One that gives you a cloud out functionality, allowing you the ability to archive data off to a cloud storage repository. One that gives you a cloud on capability that allows you the ability to launch apps for DR in the cloud or move apps from cloud to cloud. Most importantly, the right technology will provide you with security and immutability, giving you end-to-end encryption of your data at rest and also in flight. One that allows you to not only detect ransomware through a machine learning functionality, but to analyze that data and allow you to recover quickly. One that gives you a role-based access control or multi-tenancy to separate, let's say, your SQL database administrators from their virtual machines. They only have access to that. That capability will be able to give you that logical separation that you need. So that right technology is Rubrik. And being able to free your applications and to free your data from the underlying infrastructure. So think being able to send your data that's on premises out to the cloud, any public cloud, AWS, Azure, or Google Cloud. One that allows you the capability to not only back up, but to archive out for disaster recovery purposes, and to also give you a Google-like search functionality with an HTML5 interface. That technology, ladies and gentlemen, that will change your perception forever of backup and recovery is Rubrik. Thank you for your time.